Let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say you're exit, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great day. Great to see you. And hello, G-Bean. It's G-Bean's birthday, everybody. We all wish you a happy, happy birthday today. Hello, Song of the Siren, Jenna. Oh, thank you. Mikey Mike, hello, hello. Accomplished day. Oh my gosh, I watched your video. I posted it on my community channel so everybody could check it out. Very, very good find. Very good. Becca. One can Leanne. Hello, hello. Hey, Becca. Blue Devil. Thank you for liking the intro song. I know, I always like bebop to it. I'm like, it's a little catchy tune. Thank you. Who else do we have joining us early this morning? Truth Not Redactions. Hello to you. One Can Leanne became a member. Welcome to the peeps. Welcome to our community. I'm going to show you guys something about our little community too.
Clock it! So I gotta say thank you. Clock it!
Thank you very much. We're happy to have you. Put some peeps in the chat. Put some peeps in the chat, you guys. We are, in the process of continuing to build the channel, build our community, and we'll be coming up with some ideas of some special things that we can do for you members. Because we are growing. It's awesome. I'm glad I scrolled up to look up here. Good morning, Jen. I know you're probably running around working. Hi, Ro. Apparently, I went into my studio this morning because I had to upload something special. You can upload things right into your StreamYard, so you can click it and play it. And I was trying to do that. I got something on my glasses, sorry. And in order to get into it, you got to do something. You either have to like start a video or say you're going to record a video or say you're going to go live. And I should just do record a video, but I didn't. I just clicked. I was in a hurry. So I'm like, just click, 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 click. I'm like, oh, live, because it doesn't go live until you click a button. Well, apparently it notified you guys. And I was getting messages, are you going live now at like 9 something in the morning? I'm like, no. Oh, that's funny. Kawanda, good morning. A 1 month anniversary. All right. Hello. All right, you guys, let's do this. It's going to be this one, I believe. Yep. I thought I already had it pulled up, but 1 second. It's coming.
Crime O'Clock family, where you at? Everybody make some noise. This one's for GBN. Happy birthday. Yo, roll the beat, let the celebration start. Even got a big old place in our heart. Always in the chat with a smile so bright. Keeping everything moving every single night. Throw your hands up if you know she's a real deal. Positive energy, yeah, you know the love's real. Lifting up the people and spreading good vibes. One of the best people that's ever arrived. Happy birthday, GB9. Today's your day, go live your dream. From the whole community, loud and proud. We're gonna celebrate and sing it out loud. Happy birthday, GB9. Hope your year is everything. Love, laughter, joy, and a whole lot more. We're grateful for you to the very core. Every live stream, every chat, every laugh we share. You always show up because you genuinely care. Holding it together when the comments slide. Always got the family feeling unified. Respect runs deep, that's the truth we say. You deserve your flowers every single day. Hope your birthday's filled with love and surprise. Blue skies ahead and not a single cloudy sky. To our amazing mind, you're one of the crew. Couldn't build this family without someone like you. The community loves you, that's easy to see. You're a huge part of what makes us we. We love you, we appreciate everything you do, and we hope this is your best birthday yet. Much love from your Crime O'Clock family.
All right. We all hope you have a wonderful birthday today. Yep. EWU doc has dropped. Oh boy, let's check that out. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's making her rounds to notify us all. We love you and appreciate you. Yep. All right. I saw Ro. Look at this. Ro we have known each other for years now, isn't it? Like in the chats. It's amazing how first you'll recognize the same usernames, always in the same shows that you watch. And then you start commenting and talking to each other in the chats. And now Ro and I have been on voice chats together, and it's amazing. Get to know each other more personally. So I appreciate you, Ro. 16 months. That's crazy. All right, you guys. So we're going to discuss in the way we do around here. Oh, truth, not redactions. That's awesome. Yeah, I love having a partnership with Dago because, I've followed him he's one of the channels that I've been in from the very beginning, watching true crime on YouTube. And so I understand. And that's how I found other people as well. So I'm very glad. And I love having a partnership with him. Yep. Yeah, we're going to talk about the alternative perpetrators, possible other perpetrators in the Idaho 4 case. One of the OGs, I know, Wade Bird. I've known you for a long time also. There's also a lot of people that I'm like, what happened to them? Like some names that I used to see all the time, and I'm like, did they burn out on the case? I don't know. Crazy. Maybe they found other channels. Who knows? All right. Alternative perpetrators. So we're going to do this how we do. As soon as I figure this out. Oh, wait. Let me stop sharing this one. We're going to get the inspector projector out to kick this off. Oh, I got to open it first. Let me open her. I think it should be a her. I don't know why. It should be a her. We're going to look at my chicken scratch notes. No, actually, it's not that bad. Let me get her going. I see you wrote a comment, Sarah. I'm going to look at it in a second. Okay. Hopefully that's going to show up. Yep, there it goes. Tomboy charm. Oh, what did I want to tell you? Oh my gosh, I have something to show you. Did I bring it in here? Oh no, I didn't bring it in. Oh well, we'll save it for another day. Sarah is saying, I know, Sarah, we did lose peeps along the way. I'm surprised at how many. Like, I know a handful. It's sad. A bunch of burnouts, Mike. Oh, I don't know that name, Wade Bird. I don't know that name. I'm just scrolling up because I was seeing some of your comments. All right. Okay. So just to kick this off, okay, because I always feel like I want to start with justifying what we're doing, what we're discussing, why we're discussing this. Okay. So with this Idaho 4 case, I just took my little notebook that I have filled like my third one, I think. Moving on to notebook number 4 today. I'm sure some of you probably have more than that. I've followed the case from the beginning, but I didn't start taking notes and stuff like that until I had a channel. Swamp Rose is around. Like, I've seen her maybe a couple times in chats and stuff, but I know she hasn't been posting on her channel. But yeah, we miss her. Welcome back, Jen. Welcome back. All right. So issues with this case right from the beginning. And of course, number 1, the 8-hour delay. Okay. We hear about the 4 college students murdered in a house. And then a few days later, they're like, oh, they didn't call 911 until 8 hours later. And I think this was the very first moment everybody side-eyed the case and was like, what? Like, that's weird. Okay. Then we had the detectives themselves. We watched the first press conference, and everybody, the law enforcement saying, well, we don't know if it's the house was targeted, but they did say targeted attack right off the gate, like right away. Oh, it was a targeted attack. And they played it off like, I feel, well, they wanted it to be targeted because they didn't want a threat to anybody else in the community. But when I hear the word targeted, I feel like there's a direct connection and motive to someone in that house to make it a target. That's the way I took it. So you have that. Then they start talking about the white Elantra, right? Remember the white Elantra, you guys? And the very first, how many of you remember the very first released image of the white car at the gas station? And they were like, we want to talk to the person or people inside that car. Uh-oh, Tomboy, you found something. 710 of the Banfield footage. Is it a white truck? Is it a white truck with boxes in the back of it? Hey, time out, you guys. I got to address Tomboy's comment here. So I was telling Carlos about Mowich today or last night, and I was telling him about when he wrecked his truck. And I was like, yeah, he had all these boxes in the back of his truck. And I'm like, if you wrecked your truck into a ditch and it had, boxes in the back of it, what would that look like when the boxes fell out of your truck, And he's like, all over the place. I'm like, no, they were in a line, like 4 or 5 boxes right in a row. And he just kind of rolled his eyes. Oh my gosh. And just to, a lot of people will ask, has Carlos changed his mind yet? No. And I know you'll lose your mind over that, but he thinks everything we discuss and are talking about, like, it's interesting. They're coincidences. It's circumstantial. But he doesn't think it proves Brian's innocent. So that's what he gets stuck on. It's definitely a truck. Oh, all right. Good catch, Tomboy. Good catch. So I have that on my list. So these are the things that are, how do I want to call these? They are situations, they are events that have happened in this case that make us question the investigation and if Brian Kohberger is the right person. So then we've got, let's just start up here. These are going to be random, out of order. Some of these things are new, some of these things are old, and this is not a comprehensive list. I know I have left some things off. We will have to brainstorm together another day about this. So November 12th, 2022, we now know about the party patrols that were out. They only pick 2 nights a year, you guys. 1 night in the fall semester, and the night they chose was the night of the quadruple homicide. Just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. And Truth and Transparency just showed the Excel spreadsheet the other day, and I'm not an Excel user, but I do know that there are like commands and stuff that you can program into it, and it does calculations for you, or it keeps track of things. And she was able to see that, they made changes to the officers who should have been or who were on duty that night, but then they did not document them on the Excel sheet. Also explains why they would turn in their grant form late. So something was going on that night with these party patrol officers. Then we've got now these 227 scream, the 227 scream and all those loud sounds at 227. But the crime happened at 4:15, 4:20. We have one perpetrator who's wielding one K-bar knife, but he was able to murder 2 people on the 3rd floor, go down to the 2nd floor, murder 2 people in another bedroom, and not get any blood from this room to that room. I mean, miraculous feat to be able to do that. I'm being sarcastic. We have other unknown males. Blood in the crime scene, on the railing of the steps, on the knife sheath, under the White Claw. No, that was Ethan's blood under the White Claw box. You know, just unknown. What else? Oh, so we get the 1112 camera footage, and we are not allowed to hear the audio from midnight to 2:20 in the morning. Like there's nothing to hear from midnight to 2:25 in the morning. You know, that's not suspicious. They're not hiding anything. It's just, you know, something happened. I don't know. But we're not supposed to think anything weird about that. Oh, I was talking about that white car, and then Tomboy sidetracked me to the white truck. The white car at the gas station, I remember because that was like the only thing we had way back in the beginning. And everybody was blowing that car up and looking, and you could see, I felt I could see image of the driver. It looked like someone with a beard to me, like a close cut beard, baseball hat. It also looked like more than one person in the car. That's what I saw. Then they released a stock photo of the car. You know, we're not going to give you the real car. Oh, gee, Bean, you go enjoy your day. Have a wonderful day. That's what we want you to do. We'll catch up later. We'll miss you. Then we have Molly, the DoorDash driver. She does not come forward. She does not hear about a quadruple homicide and say, oh my gosh, I was at that house that night. I don't even care if she wasn't at that house. If she was at the Queen Road Apartments, come forward. Nope. She did not come forward. They had to find her through the what do you call that? The tower dump. Through the tower dump. Brian Todd, hello to you. Oh yes, that is like how I can't believe that they're not getting like legally called out on that. I don't know. Just so weird. Hello to you. Crying Bro Burger. That's a good one. That's right. Well, Judge Hippler says that the perp had to drive. The perps could not be walking. Jesse Lynn, hello. It's so good to see you. CAO Kane, good morning to you. Sorry, I put that on the screen. Witchy was. The Linda Lane cameras have plenty during that timeline. Yes. Sweet Pea, hello. All right. Crying Bro Burger. That is a funny name. I like that. And law enforcement lied to media and said the DoorDash driver came forward voluntarily. Oh, I would love to find a news clip saying that. I'm trying to get every audio of things like that documented as proof. Thanks, Sweet Pea. All right, so we got the DoorDash, and then not only does Molly not come forward, but then when she does come forward, here's how I think it went down. I think they interviewed her and she told the truth, seeing the tan car and the guy with reddish hair, and that all happened. Then I think they got to Molly and were going to have her talk about Brian Koberger, because that's what she said on her pullover videos. I'm the DoorDash driver that has to testify, against Brian Koberger. And she made the statements. We can hear them. And then we find out that's not what she said. That's not what she said. So wait till you see all the connections with her. Oh my goodness. And this is what is bringing me to today. Okay. At the very beginning, right away, we found out there's two moms. One's, Xana's mom. One is Maddie's stepmom, that were arrested for drugs, for substances. Okay. So right away, like, what? Then when the Linda Lane footage comes out, one of the things that was a big deal, and there was a debate for a while. What do they actually say? Does it say, I see you, Farley? I see you, Charlie? I think it's Farley. Then we've got that. And then we heard about this accident of somebody, and somebody found out wandering around, and they went to the hospital, and they said they were in a car accident, but their wounds don't match a car accident. And that's all we really knew. So I wanted to talk about all of this today. And hopefully, flow state. Thank you for that. Those are so cool. I'm glad I'm happy when I can glance at the chat and see those pop up. That's awesome. Hey, Labs. Good to see you. Ashley sent the flow state. Thank you. All right, so let's get into that. Oh, flip back over to my and the point that I wanted to make, and this is kind of, what do I want to call it? A sarcastic. I'm being a sarcastic. Don't forget the mayor's original statement that he later had to walk back. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a day, Tomboy, where we all work on a list. I think we already started one a while ago. I'm going to have to merge them together, but I want a master list of all these things because it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll make a picture book out of it, like each one with like something that goes with it. Oh my gosh. But what was my point that I was saying? Oh, on my title, I put alternative perpetrators greater than 1%. And I'm always going to throw this out here because in Cyray's book, he is teaching law enforcement. One of his rules is that if you have information and you're on the fence of what to do with that information, if you think there's a 1% chance that information could be true, you should go with it and investigate it and check it out. Okay? So look at that list I just showed you. Does that list present even a 1% chance that there's something else besides Brian Koberger going on here. Right? Yes. Aw, you sent a makeup brush. Thank you. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Brando. Good to see you today. Oh, thanks, you guys. Thanks for the compliments. My hair is freshly dyed. Freshly dyed. All right. So let's start with this. Let's start with, I mean, we already started. So let's get to the next thing. Which is, it's going to be this one. I'm learning how to use these tabs better, I think. Yes, I am. There it is. That's not it. Where did the video go? It moved. It's loading.
However, police still believed it was an isolated and targeted attack.
We are looking at everyone. Every tip we get, every lead we get, there's no one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into.
Day 5 was Thursday. However, police still believed it was an isolated and targeted attack.
We are looking at everyone. Every tip we get, every lead we get, there's no one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into.
Day 5 was Thursday.
What do you guys think about that? But we're everything except for the hair in a victim's hand. Okay. Everything except other DNA in the house. Everything except other cars in the area. Do you think that they looked at everybody? They clearly didn't. Or if they did, there's a lot of people, like a lot of the people that we're going to look at today as alternative perpetrators and like their alleged possible plausible connection. There are police reports about some of them. There are. So decisions were made, choices were made about how far to investigate, in my opinion. All right. So let's look at some of these key players because I don't know how much everybody, I'm sure most of you know all these names and everything like that, but I thought it would be nice to like try to put it in a more, I don't know. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. I guess there's a new doc from EWU. Yeah. Oh, and I know what it's supposed to be, so I'll take a timeout real quick, you guys. So Sarah D. Irish came in here and she said there is a new document. I don't want to stop what I'm doing. I want to do what I planned out for today. I do know that, and I talked about this yesterday. So just real quick, EWU has a lawsuit against Moscow Police Department for the records requests. Moscow never responded. Okay. Their response was, we want you to drop the case, Judge. Well, the judge ruled, you're good, G-Bean. The judge ruled no, we're not dropping the case. You're going to trial. So now they have to really respond. So I'm assuming it's probably Moscow's response. So all it's going to say is, we followed the rules. We did it's just going to be their reasons for why they did what they did, in my opinion. But we'll look at it tomorrow. Yeah, yes. And Brando, when I think about this case, as I'm reading the reports and everything we're digging into, most of their interviews were like peripheral people, right? How many fraternity boys and sorority girls, and it was all about like learning information about the victims. We're trying to find the evidence that shows about Brian Kohberger. Can you show us the evidence about Brian Kohberger? And they have not released that. Okay, so right here, so this is my theory, and this has been Pav's theory from the beginning. I've always thought this, but I never dug into it and did the research and the deep dives and all the millions of videos he has created explaining all this stuff. So Jay Embry's channel, if you're not following him, and this you need to go watch his videos, and they have evolved over time, so you can go back and see how he discovered different pieces. This right here, and a lot of the screenshots that I have are from True Crime Design, and I just liked this visual. Okay, so a lot of my latest episodes have been about who are the people on campus. Who are the people on campus that like interacted with the victims every day that was connected to the drugs, right? Because we know there's at the bottom of this pyramid are the users, okay? And I thought it was very interesting that True Crime Design put some students down here, but I don't recognize their names. I do not recognize their names. So I would have to go back and watch some of her videos to see maybe if she was onto something there with certain students. For me, the bottom of that pyramid is going to be the Delta Tau Deltas. Like, that's who I'm suspecting. It could be any fraternity. We heard Chris O'Flaherty mention Alpha Kappa Lambda. He literally said there were drugs in that house. So we heard it from somebody. Thanks for dropping her link. Appreciate that. Dutch bros, Dutch brothers, Dutch bros. So yeah, you've got the cartels at the top. Then you've got, this is the way she labeled it. I don't know if this is like the technical drug world, but the cartels in Mexico, they're getting their stuff from South America. So it's got to go from South America up to Mexico. Then it's got to go from Mexico into the United States. I was just re-listening to my episode on Ryan Wedding, because Ryan Wedding was at the tippy top of this pyramid, the tippy top. And he was just arrested, this past January 2020. Wait, 2 Januaries ago, January of 2025. Tippy top. And I think potentially this whole Idaho 4 scenario and all the big drug busts that have happened could have helped lead to that. I know it's not the only reason, because his right-hand man also got arrested and snitched on him. But I think it came from both ways. I think Ryan Wedding, who's a cartel leader, I think his right-hand man got busted and flipped on him. And so that started it, him getting it from the top down. And then I think something happened at the bottom with the dealers here. So look at the The second layer from the bottom, the dealers and the mules. There's some familiar faces there. There's the two moms, there's Emma, there's Dee, there's those names that we know are around the victims, in the house. There's a connection there. And if they start creating busts up to the third level, the people that are distributing, even higher than that, it's going to go up, and it's going to mess up their whole process, their whole distribution. Because when I was listening, re-listening to what I had said about Ryan Wedding, when he would bring his stuff up into California, he supplied 60 metric tons. You guys, 60 metric tons a year. So he would house it in a warehouse, and he would fill semi trucks, and those semi trucks would go right up the freeway to all these, distributing places. It would get dropped off. And my personal thought is that whatever happened with these students is connected to like people snitching in a big way, that was really going to mess up that whole organization. So I liked that the Pacific Northwest. Yep. And it even goes all across the country from there. Yeah, her dad too. Thank you. Her dad too. I don't know why people don't mention that anymore. I don't know. All right. So then I'm not going to read these names, but if you do go back and watch Pavarotti's videos, I mean, he's got it all mapped out. He's got 3 cells, he calls them. So 3 people in charge of 3 different groups of people. And then this would be a visual of just like thinking through the connections. Okay. So like just brainstorming like how, if it was just Maddie and Xana as like targeted victims, why? Well, their moms were involved, in that world, and then just kind of making it go down I love this type of thinking with a flow chart. So they're connected to the perpetrators, potential perpetrators could be. There's a lot of videos out there about possible confidential informant. And just connecting the different, he's got Emma Bailey on this chart, the DoorDash person on the chart, things like that. Okay, so let me do this. Which one? This one. We're going to listen to Pob for a second. I just got a couple clips of his. Make sure it shows up. I agree, G Bean. I need visuals. And that's why I thought of doing this. We hear people talk and explain, and even when there are visuals in a video, sometimes it goes by quickly. I need to like see it. Yeah, I love the charts and the flow charts and stuff like that. It's California Mountain Man here. Hello there. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Tony Stevenson. Good morning. Hey, Amy Conway. They do love small towns. All right. Can you guys hear it? Let me know in the chat if you guys could hear the audio of the video. Okay. Yeah, I got this warning saying that your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Try sharing your screen again. Okay, let's try this. Can you, but you guys can hear me, obviously.
Death of an individual in Lewiston that they had med flighted to Spokane. And when the Spokane medical examiner got a hold of him, he realized that the injuries that he had were very suspicious, took his DNA and sent it to the investigators in the took it of him, Lewiston, and in that tip, it led me down the path to find the other documents that talked about the mysterious death of an individual in Lewiston that they had.
Okay, so this is one of the like rumors or pieces of information that we have heard from the very beginning about some guy, mysterious death, car accident, but the wounds don't match a car accident. Like we've known about this for a long time. I don't know if it like was verified until the reports came out about it, okay?
Med flighted to Spokane, and when the Spokane medical examiner got a hold of him, he realized that the injuries that he had were very suspicious, took his DNA and sent it to the investigators in the unaliving case for the Idaho 4. And as we dug in, some folks out there were able to locate who it was, and it was a guy named Nicholas Mowich. Now, as I have really dug into Nicholas Mowich, I found all the signs and even more that suggest that Nicholas Mowich could have possibly been one of the alivers in the case. And I'll go through my usual methods of connecting things.
Yes, he does. But what I wanted to get out of this clip right here was that he said the medical examiner took a DNA sample. So we're all like, oh my gosh, all the, a couple of the potential perpetrators are deceased. How would we ever do any testing or anything like that? Well, hopefully his DNA should be somewhere. They collected his DNA. So I don't know. I know. I don't think Pav would say that without knowing it. Oh yeah. Every one of his videos is worth a look. Thank you, John T. Thank you. So that's good to know. And let's compare it to the hair. Let's compare it to the hair. Let's compare it to Q1.4. Let's compare it to the railing, all of that, right? All right. Okay. So that was one point. And now this is going to get us back to my slideshow. 19-minute mark. Now, this is an old video of his. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to watch the whole thing. This was called the Revealing Special Episode, The Untold Story, I believe, was the name of it. All right, right here. Is this not showing up? Nope. Add it to the screen. Add it to the stage cam. Add it to the stage. At least I checked. At least I checked. Okay.
There's possible other people on the perimeter, possible other people that may have even had a little bit of a role in doing some surveillance and coordination, such as people we've thought about due to relationships and possibly even relationships we've never really connected, and not because of any fraternities or anything like that, which I'll get to in a video. The reason that this one is even appearing in here is because of his possible relationships, but I'll talk about that. Then we've got
Okay. So let me just back that up. So I used this slide of Pav's that, you know, he's explaining, and rightfully so, that if you're going with this theory, and again, everything we're discussing in here today is speculations, everything's alleged, nobody's accusing anybody of anything, everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and I have that disclaimer in the show description. The people that he has on here are a possible connection to inside the house, possible connection to the victims, the boyfriend's father. But the only thing, now, I probably would have agreed with this up until we saw Mason Barstow's interview. Mason Barstow's interview changed my thinking about who on campus could have possibly, who on campus needs to be looked at, has information that doesn't seem forthcoming, could be a connection to selling substances. And so he had Jack Showalter on here. Now I'm starting to think Jack Showalter just got a bad rap. That poor guy. Oh my gosh. But what I did is I think now that Boise is the connection. Right? So I would put Bangman here with the mugshot. He was a dealt. Possibly put him in that like scenario. Somebody, we can't figure it out. We can't completely figure it out yet, but you know, we do have the arrest video of Mason Bangman for substances. He was a fraternity member. We're not making this up. It's all verified things that are out there. And if you name somebody that went to the University of Idaho, there's probably a good chance they are from Boise, have moved to Boise, spent time in Boise. Boise seems like a big deal. Okay, so these are all the names that we hear as we're talking about the more criminal type people with past criminal records. Some of these people are more associated with the house than others, and so these are the people that are removed, but they are the ones who are supplying the drugs. They're the ones who are bringing the drugs into the towns. And one of the names up here in the left is Farley. Okay. So that's one. Another name that we will hear is Leonard, and he's on the right. And then down in the right-hand corner, maybe I should go one at a time. Back to Farley in the orange shirt. Okay. Farley is the guy that you hear on Linda Lane, people saying, I hear you, Farley, right? Has everybody heard that clip? Where do I have that at? I see you, Farley. I see you, Farley. So that's him. Over on the right is Leonard, and he's the guy that lived in the trailer park. And he lived in the house that the neighbors reported them cleaning out a red car with bleach. Right? I believe that's him. Then we have at the bottom right, Braun and Tomboy Charm, if she's still in here. I was with Dago and his mods, and we were searching for where Ethan's apartment was, right? And they had Janelle's address. And lo and behold, she lived right across the street from where Ethan's apartment was. So that's a coincidence, another coincidence, but you might recognize that name from the video clip, if you have seen it, of the white truck. There was a white truck speeding away from the Sunset Mart, the area where Ethan lived, where this Braun lived. I believe that's where it was, speeding away from a gas station, taking off, and Payne was following her, and he didn't pull her over. We have seen the dash cam footage of that chase, and she took off and made it to Washington. I see you, Carly. You guys know that's my daughter's name. Why did I just hear? Sorry, guys. I got to look for my phone. Oh, I'm looking at my phone. That was weird. Oh, my iPad pinged. Okay. All right. So that's Braun. She was the getaway in the truck. And then that's the same truck that Molly has been pulled over in. Okay. So Molly using the same truck as the runaway Braun lady. Then you've got Molly the DoorDasher down at the bottom. We all know about Molly, right? She has a couple different arrest videos that can be watched. She has been arrested while using. She has is involved with people who are known for selling. And she was the DoorDasher that did not turn herself in. So then the most recent, not that Mowich is new. He's not a new name, but we have new documents thanks to Truth and Transparency and to Connor and Senior Wazowski for getting the photos of the mysterious man who was running around in a field and his injuries did not match a car accident, is Mowich. So these are all the people. Not all, but then a lot of the names that you will hear. And there's lots of connections. That's why there's so many videos out there of people researching and finding out different information about these people, and are they connected? How are they connected? Things like that. So this is where like a timeline begins to develop. Okay. And I just took this screenshot from Pob's video. He does such a good job of like showing every location in every state and, where they're moving the products from and all that stuff. So he has that over on his channel. You can check that out over there. But he says Farley was arrested. Oh, we're going to get to this. We're going to get to that. Okay. Let me go. I'll come back to these. There's that same chart. Okay, this is just, Farley. I wanted to show this because Farley, that's why that's where he came from. Like, why would that, why are they yelling that name? Who's that? People go on the hunt to figure it out. Okay, so here's the timeline. On August 31st of 2022 in Moscow, Idaho, there were these two people, and you will notice the names on the screen. They were arrested. Okay, and there's, a news article over here. Two people charged with what they were doing in Moscow. And the article was written September 14th, but the arrest was on August 31st. So before the murders. This is before the murders. They had a pound of meth, you guys. A pound. Sorry, my family is messaging me. I had to clear this up. And Tomboy Charm, Tomboy, thank you. She's sending me some videos. Isn't that crazy? A pound, okay? So August 31st, we have an event. We have an arrest, okay? We have an arrest of one of these names that we hear potentially on audio the night of the crime. Okay. On September 7th, we have the mother of one of the victims and a stepmother of one of the victims pleading guilty to possession. Okay. September, before the crime. So they got arrested also, and they pled guilty. So this guy goes to jail. He's in jail from August 31st. He's in jail. This is Megan Marshall, you guys. The judge, Megan Marshall, who was the first judge in charge of the Idaho 4 case. She hears lots of cases, and she was hearing this person's case. And he was in jail, and he put in a request, and he was temporarily released from jail by Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall. He was let out on a furlough so he could visit a family member who was deathly ill. Farley never returned to jail and has missed multiple court hearings. A felony arrest warrant with no bond has been issued for Farley. That was September of 23. He was out until after the murders. All right, what happened? I'm missing something in chat. Look, I think everything's good now. Jason. Okay. I can't find it, so I'm just going to keep going with this. So we have to remember to put this on our coincidence list, right? So a known, pretty sure he's probably a felon, I would say, selling narcotics. He gets let out on a furlough. Furlough for Farley. September 23rd. October 5th, they're like, where is this guy? He didn't come back. He was supposed to come back. We trusted him to come back. I know, Tony Stevenson. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I see you guys debating. Is it Charlie or is it Farley? I know there's a debate about that. So October 5th, they put out a warrant for him. So they had from October 5th, the crimes happened November 12th. So over a month, they were looking for this guy, or they could have been looking for him. Again, I'm not saying, we don't know who was involved with the crimes for sure, but this looks suspicious. These names I have not watched. I mean, I've heard the names, the Fetty Bros, a lot of times. I don't know the details about them, but I see 3 names that he's identified down there. We know that they're part of, allegedly, supposedly part of this, but so there's charges for smuggling, weapons, and it happened in Tacoma. And they're like the leaders. And that happened November 2nd. So we're leading up to the day of the crime. And we're having parents arrested, someone higher than the parents arrested, and then someone higher than that person arrested. You see how it's like building, it's building, it's building, getting closer. So this is back to the stepmom. This is November 7th. This is the week before the crime. She gets sentenced. She pled guilty and she gets sentenced. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't think she did time. And I think that's why everybody connects this to the crime, because if you're arrested for substances, and I keep saying, you know, this has happened over decades. This isn't just, oh, it's the first time I got in trouble. No, these people have been in trouble with the law over and over and over and over again. And you're still getting let out. You're still getting let out. I know she does have that emo goth look. Did they share information? Right. That's what it looks like. It looks like they shared information to lead the cops to someone else. So that was November 7th. Then the next week we have the murders. Oops. After the murders, we have this parent on November 21st gets arrested again. Arrested again. November 23rd. Now, this is the guy who they let out. They let him out to go to the funeral, and he never came back until November 23rd. They finally find him. And he returns to jail. They found him somewhere else. He had to get returned to the Latah County Jail. Whoops, I went backwards. Oh, look at that guy on the screen. Judge. Good old Judge. Hello, everybody who's joining in. I am just reviewing the theories and the people and the names that we hear. If you look at the drug being the motive for the crime, that's it. So we have March all the way to March 6th. March 6th. The guy, Farley, who some people think they hear on video the night of the crime, who was out of jail. He was supposed to be in jail the night of the crime, but he got let out by a judge to go to a funeral, and he never returned to jail. Gets his sentencing hearing because he finally gets caught, and he just gets probation. And you know what else? This is important. When he was in jail, let me show you. When the guy in the orange shirt here, when the orange shirt guy was in jail, he and the guy in the yellow shirt they were both in jail after Brian Kohberger was arrested, and Brian Kohberger was in that same jail. There are police reports. I will have to find them for tomorrow. Police reports where they interviewed these two guys. They interviewed these two guys about Brian Kohberger. And then he gets probation. Then he gets probation. Then he gets probation. I know it is horrendous to think like, nobody would ever do this intentionally to a loved one, right? But the connections, in my opinion, are too strong. The situations and the evidence are too strong to ignore it. We don't know if this is what happened. I don't know. It just makes more sense to me, especially given the brutality of the crime. I think everybody could try to prove, I don't know whether you think it's Charlie or Farley. I don't know how we would prove it. People can try. There's no denying these dates, though. That's it. Just look at the dates, look at what's happening, regardless of who. Replace the names with anybody. In fact, that's probably how I should have done this. I probably just should have been like person A, person B, person C, person D, so that it doesn't matter who, just look at what happened. Look at these situations. Is this situation is it another coincidence? Is this just a whole bunch of other coincidences? So here's the plea deal he got. So he got a plea deal. Okay. And guess who his attorney is? His attorney is Kathy Mabbitt, you guys. Kathy Mabbitt. Just another coincidence. So Tony Stevenson, you have a good question. Why would these frat kids even know Farley Slut? They probably don't, but you know who they do know is Emma and Demetrius. And Emma and Demetrius know those guys, I bet. That's how it works. It's the pyramid, you guys. It's the pyramid, in my opinion. This is what the theory that makes sense to me. So he gets a plea deal. So you have to ask yourself why. Why is he getting a plea deal? And then we have Bill Thompson. And this little statement here is cut out of one of the court documents. Okay. And so he said, to the extent that information exists regarding an informant who is not going to be produced as a witness, including recordings or written statements of an informant or that identify an informant, such information is not subject to disclosure, and the state asserts informant privilege under ICR 16 and prays for appropriate protective orders. So someone somewhere was an informant. And I'm seeing, some people in the comments that maybe not be on board with this theory of what could have possibly happened and why it could have possibly happened. But what do you think of when you hear the word informant? About what? What else do you have informants for? Right? So, I don't have my little chart that we made that one day. I don't think. Let me see. Oh, who knows what I did with it? Yeah, right here. We did this a long time ago. We'll look at this again. I'm going to read some of your comments. Well, let's chat for a minute. Let me see some of what you guys are saying. Emma and Demetrius are. They got dirt on everyone. Okay, so you guys are making that connection. Okay. Because everybody gets plea deals. That's true. I believe. Hi, Brenda Tanner. Good to see you. Welcome. I believe that, because I've never been on that path, but I do think there is a fraternity member that has that nickname, that people think like that fraternity member had like a vendetta or a reason to get back at, I think, Ethan. That was my understanding. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde are like that middleman that were I was looking for. Well, I knew them, but I'm like, who exactly on campus in the frats were they going to? Or maybe they don't. Maybe it's just them. Reading your comments. Oh, total speculation. Oh, the other thing, when I was talking about Ryan Wedding earlier, remember he's the top of the pyramid, like literally the top of the pyramid. He had not just any attorney. He had a United States, like federal level attorney paid off. Totally paid off. Like if somebody got arrested in the United States that could potentially snitch on Ryan Wedding or his group, this attorney would call him up and tell him. Like, it's crazy. Like, you think this stuff can't happen. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. You guys are all sharing your ideas in there. Good. All right. I wanted to look back at this. Okay. This was when how I explained my thinking. Okay. This is how I explained my thinking. And we can take all the individual people out of it. No names. Just, the police said that there was a target. They didn't know if it was the house or the people, but there was a target. So, originally I wrote down the house is the target, but then I'm like, well, it's not everybody in the house. It's not everybody in the house because Bethany and Dylan weren't killed. So it's some people in the house. And I think this is the motive right here. That's just what I think. I would love to see like a chart like this for like maybe another, like if it's just this, like how would we break that out? So I think this is the motive. And, the frats are related because they're the ones that buy and sell, potentially sell, definitely buying. The people that we were talking about today are the ring, right? You've got a ring and they're the ones supplying. And you cannot deny that there are parents involved. Like you just can't. It's verified. Speculating on where the informant came from. Okay. So frats, the ring, there's parents, and law enforcement is involved by busting them. They're communicating with them, then there's some issues around there, right? There's some issues around all of this. Potential things that could happen with them. Oh, and so then I went on to, I don't need to go on to that part, but I went into talking about why, and I'll do this on another day, talking about Brian Koberger. I thought it was the other Kane. I was going to say, is Kane in here? I think you were talking about CAO Kane. All right, let's go to... Where are we at? Okay. All right, this is the true crime design video that I got a lot of the screenshots from that we talked through. So she does a better job explaining some of it. So I'm just going to play a few minutes, like about 10 minutes or so of her video. Oh, and let me, before I go on, this is the video link that we watched from Pav. This is True Crime Designs. I don't think I'm sharing. I'm not sharing. Tab. It's this one. Yep. I want to get bigger.
Starts right here in the Seattle-Tacoma area.
Wait, I wrote down a timestamp. Let me look. We've got a timestamp, I think. Yep. Yeah, she also used we're gonna be able to listen to Farley, you guys. Is it Farley or Charlie? Get your headphones ready.
Hub starts right here in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington. They're then trafficked down the I-90 corridor all the way across to the city of Spokane, Washington, where another group of the Aryan family, known as the Aryan Knights of Idaho, take over the operations. They then use human mules from the city of Coeur d'Alene to drive the drugs down Highway 95 and into Moscow, Idaho, to their distributor. They then distribute the drugs to the local dealers, and then the dealers peddle the drugs to the youth at the colleges in Moscow and Pullman.
In my last couple presentations, I made the case for why I support Pavarotti's theory that the confidential informant in the investigation of the drug trafficking trio, the Fetty Bros, is in fact Kara Kernodle, which is not a speculation I make lightly. In fact, it's a notion I've spent many hours vetting and attempting to debunk through court records and public information. But the more I uncovered, the stronger this theory got. And I challenge anyone, especially content creators, who think this notion is far-fetched, to present receipts to the contrary before attacking the likelihood of this theory based on your own subjective opinion. It's clear that this theory in particular triggers some people, and I'm all for disagreements and debate, but you gotta produce facts if you want to discredit this information. So I want to be clear. Yes, some of these connections remain speculative, but they come from an informed perspective and are based on factual research, not opinions, not feelings. This case is a complex web that is slowly being untangled through extensive, dedicated, and collaborative research, and I'm honored to be a part of that. Speaking of, this video is a continuation of my own presentation of Pavarotti's information, and I will also feature the work of a couple other awesome content creators that I have learned information from. I will, of course, give proper credit where it's due. So I encourage you to go check out those channels and support those creators who are really doing the heavy lifting here.
So I'm reading your comments, and, everybody has a right to think whatever they want about this case, because we didn't get to hear anything from Brian Kohberger. There was a plea deal. We didn't get to hear anything in a trial. And the evidence that we need to see about Brian Kohberger has not been produced. So, DNA evidence, car evidence, Amazon receipt. I don't know. Let me know all the other things in the chat. So I think you have to start with the question, do you think one person alone did it? And if the answer is no, then you have to say, well, then what group would do this? And I know some people think that it's college students. And then you have to start working down that, like, what evidence do you have for that? We don't know all the whereabouts we can't put any other college student besides Lakeland in that house during that night. She's the only one that's like, yeah, I went there for a little bit after so no other students. So you have to start I haven't even like looked at it that way, you know, to verify or put evidence out there. But if you start thinking more than one perpetrator and what would be a motive? What would be a motive? And I don't think it's a coincidence that two daughters were living in that house. I know it's what people say, "Oh, that's horrible. You shouldn't talk like that," but it is horrible. It is horrible. I don't think anybody did it on purpose, but it is a reason. It is a reason. It's a reason that makes sense to me.
So, with all that said, let's deep dive into some of these new residents. Starting with an individual known as Tyson Farley, who has been identified in the media as a local meth trafficker. He is 46 years old and seems to have lived in Moscow, Idaho his entire life. And one of the main reasons folks are linking his name to these murders, besides the drug connection, comes from the Linda Lane surveillance video, where the name Farley is very clearly uttered, not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. And credit for this discovery goes to the wonderful Bubbly Waters, who I would say is the undisputed expert of the Linda Lane security footage. I highly doubt anyone else has spent more time listening and watching this footage, so shout out to Bubbly Waters. This snippet of footage is from 1:32 a.m., and I'll go ahead and play that for you. Continuing on with some connections of Farley.
You know what I just thought about, you guys? That was at 1:32 a.m. And we've had that Linda Lane footage for years now. What we haven't known until recently is that there were a lot of students walking from Sigma Chi across the field towards different parties that were going on over at the Whites and in that area. And guess what time that was? It was around 1:30. Supposedly, Xana and Ethan, according to Peter, they left the Sigma Chi house. They would be in that area. I'm going to pull that up. Let's look at that. We're going to pull up the map. CAO Kane, I like your thinking. We could put the killers in the house if they would test the DNA. If they would test the hair, they could test the hair, they could test Q1.4, they could test the railing, they could test unknown male C, unknown male D on the glove, they could test the glove. And eliminate these people, eliminate people, right? They eliminated Jose Cruz. I believe Brian didn't match some of the blood samples with Brian. So whose is it? It's got to be someone. All right, let me get rid of this. So we're looking at Linda Lane right here. That's got the camera. And, the students would they could have been out here in the road area. They could have been in this parking lot, up walking through here. They could have just been at the Whites here. And I know, man, if you go down to road view, they're like on top of each other. There is everything here is like right next to each other, right next to each other. And this all echoes. So what I'm envisioning when I hear, and then here's Sigma Chi. So you've got all these students leaving Sigma Chi, going this way. And then Dylan and Bethany, well, they said they got a ride, but Kennedy said that there was a group walking down the road from her house. It seems to me that there was a lot of college students out in this area around that time. So let's listen to that again. I'm going to back it up. Oops. Listen to it again. It's not on screen. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I took it down to talk. Thank you.
Is from 1:32 a.m. and I'll go ahead and play that for you. Continuing on with some connections of Farley to the King Road residence, this next piece of information comes from my girl, Veritas Equitas, who identified the fact that Farley works, or I would say worked, for Germer Construction, according to Facebook.
That's a name we don't hear anymore, is it? What happened to Veritas? Anybody know? Who talks to drug dealers like that? That's true. That's a good point, Song of the Siren. That is a good point. Like, I don't know if I would be doing that.
The same company that was hired by Scott Green and the university to demolish the King Road house. Veritas writes that the premature demolition of the Idaho 4 crime scene was nothing short of suspicious. U of I President Scott Green made the decision to demolish and later bury the 1122 King Road crime scene, despite pleas from the Gonsalves and Kernodle families to leave it standing until a trial has commenced. He was so graciously gifted the house from Dan Esty of 1122 King LLC, who removed himself as the agent from the LLC within just a month of the atrocities on November 13th. Veritas produced these screenshots showing Larry Germer, the CEO of Germer Construction, associated with Tyson Farley on Facebook, and also pictured with Jason Eck, the U of I football coach. Once again, it seems that everyone associated with the university is in bed together with the common goal of covering up this atrocity. Tanya Rhodes is a longtime associate of Tyson Farley. She is 54 years old and is from Moscow, Idaho. According to Facebook, they have been in a relationship since October of 2000. So Farley and Rhodes are longtime associates, if not lovers. Now enter 51-year-old Michael Burrows, an individual with a very extensive criminal history who has spent a long time in the penitentiary. He was arrested on felony drug trafficking charges with Tanya Rhodes in March of 2024. And
That's a good question, CAO Kane. And in my opinion, like my perspective is not that I don't think they have to be intentionally covering for anybody. I don't. I just think it's not just them. I think it's fair to say that pretty much all of the college students that we have heard interviewed have been vague. They have been reluctant, hesitant to share information. I also say that the people who were interviewing did not backtrack on certain topics of information to get more information during the interviews. So to me, it's more like a silence, not like I'm covering for somebody, but I'm, in my opinion, scared into not talking. I think everybody's just scared into not talking. That's just what I think. Whoops.
He owns property in Coeur d'Alene and Julietta, Idaho. Julietta is south of Coeur d'Alene, north of Moscow, and that's where the two were arrested in March of 2024. The case began when a probation officer and a Latah County Sheriff's deputy conducted a residence check on the two at their apparently shared home on Main Street in Julietta. According to court documents, authorities allegedly found 1.5 pounds of meth, along with cocaine, pills, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. They were arrested on a $100,000 bond, and Michael Burrows was able to post this as a property bond.
Right here. We still got the victims. What is their connection to TF and TR? Well, TF and TR connected to MB, originally known as M. Ketchka. Now, what is his connection up here to the families in Coeur d'Alene? Now, we know that he grew up in Coeur d'Alene. People who live in Coeur d'Alene probably know this guy because he seems to be pretty famous. And is he a good candidate for being a ranking member of the Aryan Knights? Because, I mean, let's face it, these guys, they come up with pounds and pounds. They don't seem like, they're affluent individuals to have, tens of thousands of dollars worth of narcotics. So that would assume that they have that connection coming from Seattle and Spokane. So I would assume that based on his violent history and the time spent in the penitentiary and the fact that he's got pounds and pounds of narcotics, I'm going to say he's the Aryan Knight connection once you get to Coeur d'Alene, because he owns a house there and he owns a house down in Julietta. Not bad for a career criminal.
So just to recap, we have these three individuals who are connected to each other: Burrows and Rhodes as co-defendants in a actively pending case, and Rhodes and Farley, who are longtime associates and lovers, who were also arrested together, but we'll get to that in a minute. But what's the connection to King Rhodes? And this was brilliantly uncovered by Pavarotti, once again, the channel J. Embry. And that is the fact that Burrows and Maddie's stepmom, Corey Hatrock, were neighbors for 17 years. I was able to confirm that.
So you guys, again, we can all say that all of this is just interesting. This is just, interesting information. It's just a coincidence. We could, but come on. Come on. I'm just saying. And that's why I wanted to go through it slowly and just identify the people. And then now that we kind of had a chance to look at them, listen to someone explain it. I know, lovers. Lover. That's one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. And then we've got neighbors. So we've got lovers and we've got neighbors.
Corey Hatrock lived at this address on East Boyd Avenue in Coeur d'Alene from 1998 until 2019, according to public records. This address is several hundred feet, a 3-minute walk or a 1-minute drive to the house on North 16th Street that Michael Burrows has owned since 2002. So you're not going to tell me that these two, who lived a couple blocks apart and were both into methamphetamine, didn't know each other despite living a couple hundred feet apart for 17 years. I made this visual to
all right, and this is what we've already looked at. So I don't know about that world, but I would say If you're a user, you're going to know the other users and you're going to know where to get it from in your area, right? So that's a likely connection in my opinion. So, I just wanted to go over this because some of the new information that's been coming out with the images of Mowwich's crash, right? So we've got those images. So who is he? How is he connected? So now we completely understand like who he could have possibly been. And think about that. I just keep thinking about, he was found on November 15th, 2 days after the homicides, right? The bodies were discovered November 13th. He was found November 15th. He was found with scratches, right? So if you were looking for the suspect or someone who could be a potential suspect, they were searching Jack D's body. They were searching everybody they interviewed the whole first month. Thank you, Tony Stevenson. I appreciate you. They were looking for scratches and evidence. And here you have a man in a field, kind of delusional, it sounds like he was described, 2 days after the murder with scratches. Not only scratches, knife wounds. Knife wounds. Is that just a coincidence? Is that just a coincidence? Is it just a coincidence that he can be connected to drug activity? Is that just a coincidence? So I think that's very, 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 very important. There's also, it was so important that someone at the hospital or the medical examiner, one of the two, I have to go back and listen. I think Lana was talking about it. Someone medical called to report it. Like, good on them. Like, this guy wasn't in a car. His injuries aren't from a car accident. He's got knife wounds and scratches. So thank goodness that, you can always, I think, always come across that one person that will do the right thing, speak out when they see something. And that's huge right there, to be able to do that, or to have that piece of knowledge and to have his DNA. If that person wouldn't have spoken out about his injuries, then we probably wouldn't have his DNA. To think, no one's going to think, a random car accident guy is related to a homicide. Not going to think that. Right? I'm just reading your comments. I see you guys are making a lot of comments about the parents. Yeah, I won't say things like specifically about them. Like, everybody's got issues, right? I'm just not going to, I'm not going to ignore the facts. I'm not going to ignore the facts. And there are facts when it comes to them. And the facts lead to the people that I was just sharing today. So, yeah. Who took Mowwich to the hospital? You know what, Tony Stevenson? I just that's where we got to go next, right? I want to find the report. I didn't know what number it was. to see what it says. So yeah, tomorrow I want to get into more of him specifically and the photos that are out and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. To me, I mean, do your own thinking, do your own research. I'm just trying to, I want to see evidence. I want to see facts. I want to see documents, reports, police reports, something that we can find. Because I think personally, my thought is it's more than one person. Okay. And it wasn't just some random psycho killer who just happened to pick out that house. No way. No way. No. So, yeah. There's lots of videos out there, lots of creators digging up information. Kim wants receipts. Hi, Kiss Me. Hello. And I don't know if you guys some of you weren't here for the beginning, but Ray has that 1% rule. And I'm like using that every chance I can get. That the rule is if there is even a 1% chance, like there's only a 1% chance that the information you're looking at might be true. There might be something to it. You should check it out. And I think everything we just looked at today gives us at least that 1%. There's a 1% probability that there's something in there that could be true. And so that's why I wanted to share it. Yeah. And I just want to keep using that rule over and over again. Because I'm a little upset with Ray, so I'm going to keep using that rule about him. Yep. All right, you guys. I am going to clock out for today. Oh, before I do, I want to show you something. One more thing. You have to see our Discord. So hopefully I can do this. Let me see. Go here. Go. How can I do this? How can I do this? Let me make sure it's going to work before I pull it up. Okay. Can I make it bigger? I think I can make it bigger. Our mod, Jen, has been organizing and creating the heck out of this thing. So you know that we are the peeps over here, right? The unique peeps. And add it to the stage. Add it to the stage. We are the unique peeps. And so everything that we have over here, we've got the first thing you should see is our sleuth coop. We have a sleuth coop, you guys. And there's the very first link. We want to welcome you in to the coop. And then we have an area to meet each other. We've got links to help each other out with things. And then I have a section that I call Clock In with Kim. And I just put messages in here for everybody. Sometimes it'll be questions like looking for something or just, whatever, just a way to communicate. We've got a special spot for the verdict room for Saturday nights. Then we've got the sleuth coop case section. And these are all the cases that I've talked about. So everything we've talked about, we've got a spot for that. And Jen has just done an amazing job putting different sections in there, like wings and halos for remembering the victims, right? The advocacy perch. Like, I just love how creative she got with this, but that section is going to be coming, but that's going to have like special topics of advocacy, things like that. Then we've got like just a place to go in and hang out and just chat with everybody. If you want to share your social media with everybody, we've got a section for that. Music. You guys know I have a porch goose, so I have to. We've been posting stuff about our porch geese. So if you would like to communicate off the show, please come check out our Discord. Join us over there. And I'm hoping, I did not show, we have a new flamingo section over there in the Discord. And what did you end up calling it? Let me find it. Oh my God. The Feathered Film Society, you guys. The Feathered Film Society. Where did the flamingo go? Flamboyantly balanced, you guys, with the flamingo. And it's more like self-help and like a way to just be kind to each other and stuff like that. I just love it. I love it. It's amazing. What are you dropping in there, Witchy? I'll be dropping my playlist of the Airborne Toxic Event songs with Idaho 4 adjacent lyrics soon. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say, you guys. So many people we all technically have a channel when you're on YouTube, right? But not everybody creates with their channel. But so many people have been, like Witchy was. I think is your stuff public over there? Not sure, but you had a lot of resources. Some people just do like community posts. They just post things like links to different things. And I've been discovering more and more of them, like Critic Rick has stuff on his channel. Now I'm going to forget people because I was not prepared to talk about this, but one thing that I've been doing, it is public. Yes. So Witchy has amazing resources over there. Accomplished Day. She created a video. I shared that on my community post. So yeah, it's wonderful to see what everybody's doing out there. So please support each other. I feel bad when I discover that somebody has stuff on their page. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Yep. Witchy. 20% cancel worthy memes. I want to see those too. Yeah, there's so much talent in here. So much talent. Yep, I agree. Okay, you guys. I feel hopefully the conversation in the chat stayed amicable. Seemed like everybody was disagreeing, but still able to communicate with each other. So that's wonderful. It was a touchy topic. I was like starting to sweat bullets for a minute. And I just don't like talking about specific people to begin with. But in this case, you can't help it. So I'm trying to do it as respectfully as I can. I hope that shows, but yeah, thanks for sharing all your ideas, you guys. I'm going to clock out for now, and I want to thank you all. Thank you, mods, for being in here and doing all that you do. Please come on over to our Discord. Oh, that is good to know. Truth, not redactions. We have a very respectful chat. Oh, awesome. Yep, we all try to be that way. That's amazing. Thanks for flapping your wings with us today. So funny. So funny. Yep. You're okay, CO Kane. You're good. You're good. Like I said, everything was, trust me, CAO Kane, my husband thinks, well, he doesn't think I'm crazy, but I know he doesn't probably appreciate that theory or me talking about it. It's touchy. Like, I get it. Yep. All right, you guys, join me back here tomorrow. I hope you can. 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Do something nice for yourself, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Typically unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and wild to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.